Hello everyone, how's it going? It's Isaiah here, and I'm here with the channel first. I know this channel is mostly used for gameplays and and playing walkthroughs, gameplays, rage fests, all that good stuff. But I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I put a little thing out on Twitter asking if anyone would like to see other stuff on the channel, such as reviews, news, information, reaction videos, anything like that. And surprisingly, I got some feedback and people were saying, yeah, they'd like to see that. So, here we go. I'm going to try it out today with my first movie that I went to go watch today. Silence, starring Liam Neeson, Andrew Garfield, and Andy something Driver. Whoever the guy is that played Kylo Ren in the Star Wars movie. I forgot his name, I'm sorry. Something starts with an A and something Driver. I'm sure I don't know. But also, a word of advice, not a word of warning, I should say. I am very easy when it comes to movies, so if you're expecting criticism and extreme detail, pay attention. No, but I have taken a class as teledramatic arts, which is the arts of making movies, kind of. So I have a good idea of what movies are supposed to be like, what they're not supposed to be like, and I do, in fact, will comment on that sometimes when I see it. Like in Stomp the Yard, when they throw him on his head and he's sliding with his arm down. It shows a shot of him halfway through the stage, almost halfway or almost all the way, and then it takes a different angle and he's like back to the beginning. That's a terrible sin. Don't commit. Inconsistency between shots. It's a terrible sin to commit in movie making. But anyways, enough about that. Let's get to the actual details. So, another thing. Andrew Garfield is my favorite actor of all time. So, if I fanboy over him or if I give him a little more praise than he deserves, that's because I'm biased towards him. Anyways, here we go. I thought the movie was solid. It was definitely worth watching if you have free time. Don't go out of your way to watch it. If you need to watch it, but you don't have free time, wait till it comes out on DVD. It's not a must-see, I'll tell you that. Martin Scorsese did a great job. Andrew Garfield did a great job. Kylo Ren did a great job. Liam Neeson looks just like Qui-Gon Jinn again. It's hilarious. But this movie was very well done. It was interesting. There were a lot of deep scenes, a lot of hard to watch scenes, a lot of stuff that you didn't exactly want to see, but it's the truth, and it's what happens to people. It's terrible. Anyways, I don't know if any of you know what this movie's about. Silence is a movie about two Christians. They're actually Catholic. Two Catholics. Father. Oh man, they barely said the name, so it's hard to. And the whole movie, everyone had accents because they're in Japan. But Andrew Garfield and Kylo Ren are in fact the missionaries. The movie starts out with them getting a letter from a missionary in Japan currently. What the letter says is the horrors he's going through and all the torture he's seeing and the pain that he's experiencing watching this. And then he also, after they finish reading the letter, the main father, not the main character, but just the guy who's above them, mentions that the Dutch traveler who was trading with the Japanese and saw the missionary said that he hypothesized, which basically means denounce Jesus and denounce the faith. And the two fathers were saying, no, that's impossible. You can't be serious. That's not, no. He's the one who taught us. He's the one who brought us up. He has the ultimate faith. There's nothing that can shake him. And he says, well, that's what happens, and that's the truth. So the two fathers persist and say this is just a rumor, it's slander, it's to ruin his name. That's not true. Let us go ourselves to Japan and we'll find him. And the main father forbids it. He says, no, you can't. I will not allow you to go and hurt yourselves or worse or have terrible things happen to you because this land is not somewhere you can go spread the gospel. So the two persist and persist and persist until he says, "Is it truly in your hearts to go?" And they both agree right away. Yes, yes, it's in our hearts. So he says, "If it's there, the will of God must have put it there. You have my blessing. Be safe." So that's the basis of the story. They go to find the father and go to Japan to preach, of course, because that's what they do. And they go, and I'm gonna get into more of just how the movie is in general because I don't want to keep telling the plot. They go and they see, and this is where it gets a little funky. The first shot of funkiness comes up. There is a scene where Andrew Garfield is praying, and he says, "Whenever I see your face, Holy Spirit, I get overwhelmed with joy, and I feel the strength to go out there and keep doing the good work, the good deed, and do your work." The problem is with that is it's like a terribly cropped out face and just plastered wherever. Like it says, it shows him and it closes his eyes and he's praying, and there's darkness, and then bang, you just see like a really badly placed cropped image of Jesus' face. And it's not one of those detailed ones that they have in the or well drawn ones they have in the like in the on the candles. It's more so one of the ones that are in the church when he's hanging on the cross and his face looks really pale and super skinny and it looks a little funky. It's that, and it's just staring at you for a good like 20 seconds because he's talking while it's there. It's a little weird, but I mean, that's the gripe I have. It comes in and out of the movie during certain parts, and that's the only gripe I have. It felt a little off, felt weird. A lot of the shots were very well done. Rule of thirds was followed really well. The atmosphere, the environment, the music was done really well. It was not overwhelming, but it was just there so you could hear it. And there wasn't much of it, but when it was there, it was powerful. The hair was beautiful. The wardrobes were great. Everyone in Japan spoke English because they said that the other pastors had taught them English, and they were like, okay, that makes sense. They had thick accents though, so if you can't understand Japanese accents, you better learn before you watch this movie because they don't give subtitles for them. I'm sure if you get it on DVD, you can watch it with subtitles and it'll make everything so much easier, but you have to understand what they're saying. And even too, sometimes Andrew and Kylo Ren were like, "Oh, what are you saying? What?" But then they'll say, "Oh," and then they'll enunciate it again so us audience can understand it. So it's nice, but it's still tough, to deal with sometimes. Yeah, so that was really well. It was good. It was annoying at first, but you got used to it. When they did speak Japanese, though, they left subtitles, so that's good. You're gonna get some Japanese in there. It showed the real horrors of some people who live in Japan and feudal Japan and how they have to live. It's terrible. Yeah. I heard that it was filmed in Taiwan, which is great because it's not Japan, but or maybe it is. I don't know. My geography is terrible, so don't call me on that one because I'm really bad. I'll admit that I'm probably wrong, but it was good. It was a good movie. I want to put a little spoiler warning right here because I'm about to go into detail about the ending and how that ended. So if you haven't watched the movie, click off now or skip ahead about, I want to say 3 minutes. But if you have seen the movie and you want to hear my opinion, then here it is. Ready? Spoiler. Last chance for spoiler warnings. Ready? All right. Spoilers. Here we go. They find the man eventually. Well, the one of them does. Andrew Garfield and Kylo Ren have to split up at one point because the Inquisitor, which is the main guy who hates Christianity, comes down and finds that they're practicing Christianity, and they say, "Bring me the priest, or you're all gonna die." And they don't, so Andrew and Kylo split up, each one to a different village. Andrew goes to a village he had visited before, finds out it's been completely destroyed, starts wandering aimlessly, and he is hurt and tired and thirsty and just on the brink of defeat. And then he finds a village while climbing a mountain, and another character that's in the movie, what's his name? Chichican? I don't know. It's something like that, and it's really hard because everyone has crazy names that, since America doesn't have names like that, it's hard to remember. But anyways, You see him, and then Andrew falls down he starts going down a little bit of an incline, falls and hits his head, and gets really jacked up. And then so on, and they keep traveling for a little bit. He says, I'm tired and hungry. He feeds them, gives them water. And then he turns them in to the Inquisitor for 300 pieces of silver. And thus begins a lot of the torture scenes where you see people working in the rain, which isn't really torture, but there's working in the rain. They're getting cuts on their head. They're getting hung upside down. They're being forced into just cramped spaces with minimal food and just stuff that'll make any normal human go insane. But they have such faith and they believe in God that they understand that if they die, they're going to paradise, and that's much better than being here. And it's all for the will of God, so it's great. And it just keeps going on and on and on, and it doesn't get repetitive to a point where, okay, I get it, it's torture, can we move on? No, it keeps going on, and there's always a new form, and they're always trying to give them a chance to get out. Then they finally kill one of them, and everyone starts freaking out. Andrew Garfield says, stop, please, it's getting terrible. Then they take him to the beach, and they sit Andrew Garfield on a nice little chair, and here comes Kylo Ren shirtless with only his pants on. And they say they told him that Andrew is apostatized or denounced God. So he just kind of like doesn't really want to look at Andrew. But he's saying, let them go, please. And he won't apostatize. He won't until he... And then they wrap him in hay, take him out to the water, and throw him down to try to drown him. Because they can't move, they just sink. Then Kylo Ren swims out there to try and save him. And they push Kylo Ren down with a stick, with the wooden stick, until he drowns. So he's dead. And then Andrew keeps crying, and it's terrible, and the torture is terrible, and it gets to the point where they finally find Father Ferrero, which is Liam Neeson, the guy that denounces faith, and they say, well, what are you going to do? Father Ferrero denounces faith, has a Japanese life, and is living with his wife, and all this stuff, and it's going good for him, and then, he finds Andrew, and he's like, you just gotta denounce it. There's so many flaws with the religion, and he tries to go on and on and on about telling him how to stop it, until they get to the pit again, which is when people get hung upside down, a cut on their neck so the blood will drip out, so they don't die from the head, blood rushing to their head fast. It'll like take a lot longer, so the pain is a lot worse. Really interesting torture method. It's terrible, but all that, and then finally, and Andrew doesn't denounce it, but they put a tablet with a picture of Jesus on his foot and says, okay, just step on it real quick. We'll let him go. Andrew is crying, and he's like, I can't. He's talking to himself, I can't do this to the Lord. But then the movie goes silent, and you don't hear any atmosphere, any crying, any torture sounds, any talking, anything. But then you look at the statue, and you hear a voice, which is supposed to be God's voice, saying, just touch it. I've been with you this whole way. I understand the pain that you've been caused. I've been sitting through it with you. Just tap it with your foot. Go ahead. I understand. It's not anything to me anymore. The pain that they're causing to my people are a lot worse than what is going to do for you just tapping it with your foot. So he taps it, falls on the floor crying. They shave his beard, which is really sad. I like his beard. They give him a Japanese life, a Japanese wife, a Japanese kid. They have him look for stuff, and everything seems like he's living a normal Japanese life. This is the end of the movie now, and he's working, and they say he has to write a denouncement every single week, I think, saying that he denounces Christ and that he's only working for them, and all the way to the end, everything is just kind of working, and then it's a huge time skip. And it says that he died, and that he was working as for them, and then he decided that he was gonna, he can't leave, so he has to stay there, and yeah. Then they show his dead body in a big white tub. I guess that's the way they do it in Japan with the Buddhist religion, and his wife puts a little thing inside of his coat to ward off bad spirits. And everyone believed he denounced God. Even the Dutch traveler who was kind of narrating this whole entire last 5 minutes, because he's not talking. Andrew's not talking, so the Dutch traveler's talking. He says he denounced them, but is it true? No one will ever know except God. And as they set the tub on fire with Andrew's dead body in it, it zooms very, very close in, and then it shows underneath his cuffed hand, his wife, I guess, had put a little cross and Jesus in there. And it shows that he didn't denounce his faith, that he still believed, but he suffered through it all, and perhaps he gave his passion to, his wife and his kid. It's really great. It's great. It's a different kind of ending. It's not a happy ending because what we're used to in America, but it's definitely a rewarding ending. Anyways, sorry guys, spoilers are done. That took more than 3 minutes, my bad. But anyways, that's the movie. It's fantastic. It's great. You should go check it out if you have time. If not, don't worry about it. It'll come out eventually on DVD, and you should pick it up and just watch it one night. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Definitely great. 2.5 hours long, so it's an ordeal. You gotta really make time for it. Keeps you on the edge of your seat with some parts because you're afraid that he's gonna get caught, and then when he is caught, you're afraid that there's gonna be parts where he's like, is he gonna die? What's gonna happen? And it's just a whole bunch of nail biting. I bit a lot of my nails throughout this movie, and it's constantly interesting. It constantly keeps you on the edge of your seat, hoping and wondering and hoping for the best for your hero, and everything just works out. It just doesn't work out, but everything works well in the movie. So yeah, I think Andrew Garfield did great. Other actors did great. The Japanese actors did great. It's tough. It's deep. If you're a Christian like I am, it's hard to sit and watch that because there might be a day where you have to go through that because the Bible says the end times everyone's going to attack Christians, which is inevitable. But it's interesting, man. It gets you thinking. It also makes you feel how much for granted we take everything. Like they get there and they all share like one anchovy. Like when they first get to the island, you see them eat, and everyone has one anchovy as their dinner. Like we eat in a Big Mac with large fries and large soda just for the fuck of it, and it's like we take all of that for granted. This movie makes you feel and think so much. It's a great watch. I recommend it. 8 out of 10. Go check it out. If you love Andrew Garfield, you'll love this movie. If you love ancient Japan, you'll love this movie because it's actually pretty damn accurate. It's like set in the 1600s. And it's just, if you're Christian or Catholic, you should go watch it because it makes you really feel your religion and the importance of it. But yeah, so it was a tough one. It's not easy to sit through. Not as in you don't want to watch it or you want to get up, but tough as in you just really tugs on your heart and your soul. It's a good movie though. Anyways, I hope you guys like my review. I'll do some more of these. I'm probably going to do one for tomorrow for Split because I know that movie's coming out and I want to watch that. So that one's going to be cool, hopefully. That one came out and I'm going to go watch it tomorrow for review it for you guys. And yeah, I'll do a news update for Dragon Ball Super because something happened there. But everything else, guys, I just want to say thank you. And thanks for checking this out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you want more of these in the future because I'll gladly go to reviews for anything. Games, movies, TV shows, whatever you want. Fuck, I'll watch a whole entire season of Supernatural for you guys if you want. It doesn't matter. Anything for you guys because I love you guys. Stay beautiful. Talk to you in the next video, guys. Adios.